Live. Awesome. Hello, everyone. Welcome to the People's Congregation of Shakers and Movers. Sandy here with, of course, Matt Thomson, and we are coming in hot once again from the state of Maine. We have been giving the founding chapel a lot of love. There was some serious vibration raising going on this weekend, thanks to Deacon Dave and Reverend JG, who just throw it down on those decks, guys. We had a lot of vibration, frequency, and energy being shifted and manipulated in all these beautiful ways this weekend. So I'd like to thank Mother Earth for the vitamin D and the sunshine that we all really needed. And the outdoor time. And of course, I'd like to thank good friends, even better company, and even better music. I mean, it really couldn't have been a better weekend. So I hope everybody else had an awesome Memorial Day. We did just get stuck in like 3.5 hours of traffic. So I'm so excited to breathe with you, Matt, right? That's why we do this. Yeah. I'm going to probably just let you shift the camera, or you can even take my seat if you want when I go get comfortable. But so everyone, don't forget to sign up for our newsletter, pcsam.org. We are going to get something out this week letting you know what's going on Friday night. I think we're still trying to get it organized, but the group is on for the month of June. And that always is a combination of yoga, breath work, meditation, sound healing, and or art therapy. It's a night to come together and just find connection with like-minded people and try new things. And usually it always ends up being a magical time. So we hope to see you there. How are you feeling, Matt, after this morning's?
Yeah. Just glad to be back. I mean, kind of glad to be back, but could have stayed up there.
I could have stayed up there, but I'm happy to be out of the car.
But just, I think it's just being out of the car at this point. So So it was a Monday morning on a Tuesday, I guess, with everyone. Like a lot of stuff was going on.
Yeah, but there's a lot of great things happening, and we have this beautiful new egg hanging chair, Matt. I was actually thinking it might be fun for me to sit today in that chair and do my breath work.
Well, we're going to stand a little bit.
Oh, we're going to stand too? Okay. So, See, nobody puts baby in the
But you can go sit in there for a minute if you want.
Yeah, well, I was going to say,
go check it out.
This is pretty cool. I'll show the congregation. You guys may remember this chair from my first shop, but it is really a neat sensation to do a meditation in a chair like that, because it's like you just feel like you're floating in the womb. Hello,
and
everybody.
It's super comfortable.
It's super comfortable, right? Sorry, Matt, I messed up your whole situation. But yeah, I'm excited for the changes going on around here, for sure.
Okay.
Awesome.
Okay.
Awesome. You get the comments.
Yeah, so today, why don't we just take a moment and just sit down, stand up for a moment. Let's just drop into our present moment. Just breathe. Let the body communicate to you and how you need to breathe. If it's just a big inhale, nice long exhale, powerful exhale, whatever it is that your body naturally wants to do, I just invite you to do that now. And just take this moment to fall just into being here right now. So, a lot of times you might hear me talk about, if you've been to one of my breathwork pieces or here on the podcast, we sometimes talk about shifting and moving energies. How are you feeling? Are you feeling something in your gut today, in the heart, in your throat? When I'm asking what feels good, and maybe what's not serving you today, something that's a little uptight, or if we talk about like triggers, and we become activated, you've heard the same thing where like, where's that reaction occurring in your body? And it's usually somewhat in alignment with the energy centers, but it can be in other locations as well. And so a lot of times I'm asking you to kind of fall in and breathe into that energy. And if you want to sit for now, you can. So if you want to sit into that energy, that is fine. I'm sorry, I just got distracted there. I don't know why I said sit into the energy. So with the energies in our body, we're sometimes trying to feel them because we can start to shift and move any traumas, little triggers, and when we create that space, that pause between the thought or the emotion and how we're going to react, and kind of breathe into it. And so a lot of times we might struggle with learning how to feel something in the body or feel that energy or to drop into it a little bit deeper. So today I'm going to invite you we're going to add some movement. You can do this movement sitting down, and you can do this movement standing up, whatever is most comfortable for you. So when we think about our senses, right, we're always listening to what's going on around us in the external environment. We're touching or feeling things as well from the external world around us. We might be speaking out to the universe, or we might be speaking to another individual. That is also it's external. And so what I'm going to invite you to do is just to almost reverse that thinking a little bit, and let's take our senses more inward. So with our ears, to start listening to what is the needs of the body. What's the body asking for? This goes into like reparenting, inner child work, like really listening and diving in to see what's needed and start to learn how to listen to what our body is saying. And also even feeling into the body. And you can apply, that's why sometimes we apply touch, and with the touch, like say to the heart, which is common, or if my third energy center is activated, I might put my hand on my upper gut, or, we might add some tapping sometimes. Like this is all touch, but when we do any type of touch like this, we want to allow for the sensation of the feeling of that touch to go a little bit deeper within us. We can start to see even more inside. We can get to visuals or patterns. And with our voice, we can also speak to ourselves. And we've talked about this before, like how we speak about ourselves is so important. So we can even direct like I am statements or whatever more inward. So if this is difficult process for you or for anyone out there, I'm just going to invite you to let's just add some slight movement. So in my invitation here is to really try to feel what's going on with the body with your movement. So either sitting down or laying down. Sitting down or standing up. I'm just going to invite you just to add a very slow, like swaying, like just a light breeze. You're a tree that's grounded. And I just invite you to just allow for the body to move. Don't think about what you're doing for movement. Just let the body naturally begin to move. If you're moving your hands or your head. And as you're doing this, two things. One, try and just allow for the body to move in whatever way it's telling you to move. So if you feel like you should do something, then just do it. And the second part is as you're slightly moving, to begin to understand how, really bring your attention to how the body's moving, how it feels to move, to wiggle your fingers. Just go into the sensation of movement. Sometimes, and you can also lay down on the ground. So as we're doing movement, sometimes you might bring in some yoga stretches or just any general stretch. Sandy might need the stretch. We've both been in a car for a while. But as you're doing this and as you're allowing the body just to communicate to you what it needs, we can even open up our chest or our heart center. Oh. Just keep your attention on the sensations, the feelings in the body as you move. If you need to start doing bigger movements, you can. If you need to stay with small movements, that's fine. Some of us may find this very difficult to do. Movement can also be a trauma for some people. And if it's very difficult for you, I just invite you to do the smallest movement. Any type of movements works. It doesn't matter how small it is. And it's not about like trying to dance or look good. It's just about what your body is needing at this time. So really listening, and whatever comes up for you, just to kind of go with that flow. And just deepen your awareness to how the body feels with any type of movement that you're doing. And keep our thoughts and our attention on the body and how it's feeling. I think we can probably, almost everyone can maybe agree on how good a big stretch and a yawn is in the morning. We're like, oh yeah, just know how good that feels. But to add this in more through the day. And this is just a way, another doorway, another tool in our belt to help deepen our awareness to how the body's communicating to us, how we feel inside. We can touch, we can squeeze. You can squeeze your arms and just feel the sensation of that pressure. You can massage your jawline, your face. So it doesn't just have to be movement, but touch can be added to it. Sometimes applying pressure on top of the head with your hands. And you don't have to do exactly what I'm doing. I'm just throwing out things as they come up for me, of different ways of movement and expanding our awareness to how it feels. So just explore with this just for like another minute. You can roll your shoulders. And then now I'm just going to invite you just to Just drop into this moment. Maybe become still again for a moment. You can sit down, you can stay standing. And just do a little check-in on how you feel after this. And if the body's saying move a little bit, then just go ahead and listen to that communication with the body. And then just breathe in any manner that fits for you. So, with breath work, whenever we're doing any type of work to transform any energies in the body or to find that higher alignment for what our purpose is here, as we're shifting through traumas or experiences that we've had that no longer serve us, and as we let things go, movement becomes very essential. A lot of times I bring in movement a little bit more so towards the end, and then sometimes with breath work and stuff, people just kind of naturally move during the course of breath work. And so sometimes just bringing our awareness, if we're releasing the energy, say that's maybe some anger or some rage or something that's just very strong, and we really feel like we need to move, or maybe we just really feel like you need that punching bag. And that's very real for a lot of us. So, we don't usually have a punching bag around. So, something that we can do for that type of movement is we can even find a wall, or I can take this chair that's right here, and I can just push against that. Push down. I can push against the wall, just really put in some pressure into the wall, and really kind of, it's a similar sensation as saying like hitting that punching bag or letting out. We can push, release. So there's so many different types of movement, and even like the one I just described there with pushing. If something's really frustrating you at work and you're taking a moment to yourself to kind of catch your breath, maybe even just exerting that type of pressure can also help while you're breathing to kind of like drop you back into the moment, kind of release whatever was coming up for you. Okay, so now let's just take a break for a moment, and I'm going to sit back down, and let's just breathe for a moment now, and just really checking in on the body. So let's just take a breath in through the nose, out through the mouth. Same thing here with the exhale. If you feel like you need a little bit of sound or a sigh, and then just drop into this moment. Drop into the breath. As we're dropping in, feel free to add whatever type of movement you may need. But keep that awareness to your breath. Don't lose it. And then as we're dropping in, I'm just going to invite you to let's just scan the body for a moment. And just check in with what's feeling good what maybe is not feeling so good. Just bring your awareness to your toes, the bottoms of your feet, tops of your feet, your ankles, and just check everything. We all had a long weekend. Hopefully a beautiful weekend for everyone. But sometimes that traveling afterwards, or maybe we just want to go back to being in full-blown joy or bliss. And breathe into any energy centers that are feeling good, or anything that's feeling activated. Just breathe into it. If the body's even saying to add like a slight movement or stretch, go ahead and do that while you're breathing into that area. Check your knees, your legs, your hips, your stomach, rib cage, your heart, shoulders. And we're just really dropping into how everything feels. Dropping into, is the body saying move? Does it need to shift a little bit? Maybe some, like my shoulders definitely need to move, but maybe yours don't. Make sure you're checking your arms and elbow and fingers and hands. Maybe really check everything in the neck and the jawline, your tongue, nose, cheeks, eyes. And even when you're done, if you want to do some tapping or some light touch or pressure on the body. Pressure can be really relaxing when we breathe into it. You know, I've done work with kids on the spectrum, and sometimes like something that really helps them, and this can be for anyone really, but just wearing like a weighted jacket can be very soothing and calming. Just having that pressure on, a lot of times if we get a headache, we start rubbing the back of the neck. But we can also do it when we're feeling good, or maybe just we need to shift or just kind of push the energy a little bit that's in there. You can have small movements like I talked about in the beginning. As you become more comfortable with this, movements might expand and become bigger. Yeah, maybe you're jumping up and down a little bit. Maybe we're really pressing into the wall or pressing into the floor. Maybe really pushing our feet into the floor, or even pushing our feet against the wall. And staying with that breath. And let's just come to stillness maybe for a moment. And just drop into how you're feeling now. How are you feeling now? Just breathing in any way that works for you right now. Another thing with movement too is, when we are working, if you're like in a one-on-one session or in a group session. Part of movement is not just bringing you back into your personal space or in the room that you're in, which is what we use it for quite a bit, to kind of reawaken our senses to our environment. But it can also be a way to really, like if we went through some emotional work and some crying maybe, and just really feeling into an energy and beginning to understand what the energy is and beginning to understand what the need is of that energy. Maybe it needs to be held. Maybe it needs to be told that it's supported. But whenever we're going through this process, the movement or the shaking at the end is also about helping to really put that period on, okay, let's really make sure we shift and move this energy around and get it unstuck, unglue it, and just let it disperse out through your being, out to the universe. Now let's just come into a state of quietness for a moment and stillness. I'm going to invite you for a moment to place your feet flat on the floor. I'm also going to invite you to take off any shoes that have a rubber bottom. The rubber on our shoes stops us and blocks us from grounding with the earth. So maybe take your shoes off for a moment, get your feet flat on the floor. And I'm going to invite you now we're going to just take some good inhales through the nose and exhales through the mouth. And as we do this, the first part is going to be and you can do this right now, we can bring our attention down to the soles of the feet. And just take a moment and just see if you can connect with the earth. It doesn't matter if you're 90 floors up in the air, in a building, on grass. It's just have the bare feet. You can always connect. And for a moment, just imagine your feet being like a tree, like the trunk of a tree. And to imagine that you have roots growing into the earth. Even if you're in the air, like on the new chair here, the roots can still just come down, connect with the earth. And for a moment, I just invite you to imagine the roots, even connecting with other root systems. And maybe gently ask to connect with the earth and to receive and to give. And as you do this, what are you feeling in the bottoms of your feet as you drop into this connection? You get some tingling sensations. And now that we're kind of tapped into the earth, what I invite you to try with your breath is on your inhale to draw from the roots And just draw all the energy from the earth up to your heart. So maybe just put your hand on your heart for a moment. Just feel that. So we're going to draw all this power of stability, power, connection with the earth. We're going to draw it up to the heart, feel it, allow for that energy to meet with the heart energy. So my invite here is, let's take the sensations and to feel deeper into the body now that we've done some movement. And again, if you need to move a little bit and shift, please do. And so when we breathe out through the mouth on the exhale, we're actually going to take that heart energy now and push it down back to the roots and send that energy out to the earth. And we're just going to keep recycling that for 5 breaths. So before we get started, I'm just going to invite everyone to do 10 blow breaths to drop us in. This is just quick breaths through the mouth, only like this. It's very quick. So on 3, we're going to do 10 quick blow breaths. 1, 2, 3. And now just nice big inhale, drawing from the roots up to the heart. And on your exhale, take that energy, push it back down to the earth. Let's do this 5 times. And then when you're done, just sit in this energy for a moment. And just see how you feel now. Check in. Breathing any way you need to. Maybe for a moment, just ask yourself, were you able to feel the transfer of energy through the body? Maybe for a moment, just contemplate how that felt. Even now, we're going to do this breath again. This time we're going to breathe in from the heart. So our inhale is going to start with the energy of the heart. And then we're going to draw this energy out all the way up to the crown. So maybe tap the crown for a moment. Just make sure this area is awake. And then we're going to draw that energy into the light, into the divine. And then on the exhale, we're going to draw it down back to the heart. And we'll just go from the heart to the crown, back to the heart. And so on 3, we're just going to get ready for 5 breaths from the heart to the crown. So 3, 2, 1, draw it in. Really go into the sensation of feeling the energy. Allow yourself to move if you need to. You can allow for the chest to expand if it's asking for that. done just to sit in this energy for a moment. Allowing for the body to do what it needs to do. Maybe it needs a little bit of movement, a little bit of shaking. Just dropping back into any breath that works. You know, a lot of times we think meditation and stuff, and we just have to be still. No thinking. Don't move. Sit just cross-legged. And which works too many of the times. But sometimes we need more than that. That's why it's so beautiful to really tapping into how we feel and what's needed right now. Now we're going to do one more breath, 5 more breaths. This time we're going to put the whole system together. So we're going to start with the root, the bottoms of the feet. Inhale up to the heart, feel it go to the heart, and then bring it all the way up to the crown. And then on the exhale, we're just going to draw the energy down from the crown. Feel it come into the heart, and feel it go back to the earth. So just let it out. And then 3, 2, 1, let's draw from the feet up to the heart, and then up to the crown. Just feel the energy move through the body. And then reverse it with your exhale. Nice and slow, controlled. And see if you can really feel this transfer of energy. You can even pause at the heart if you want for a moment. It doesn't really matter. You know, with this breath too, we can do 2 inhales, like where we bring it to the heart, maybe a quick pause, and then finish with the inhale up to the crown. And when you're done, I'm just going to invite you just to breathe normal and just drop into your breath for a moment. Take your time with this. And when you're dropping back into your breath, just checking where you're at right now. Where is your body at? How is it feeling right now? You're fully connected to the earth. Brought in that beautiful heart energy. And tapping into that divine wisdom. And just enjoy this for 1 more minute. And then just slowly kind of bring some movement back in, like we talked about before, just bringing your awareness to the space you're sitting in or laying down in. Slowly blinking your eyes a little bit, just bringing in your surroundings. Small wiggling of the fingers. And I'm just going to invite you to stand up if you can. If you want to do this from sitting down, you can also do that. But as you awaken, just to lightly bring yourself up. And we're going to end with some movement here. And just do whatever you need for a second. And let's end this session right now with just some really good wiggling, just really shaking everything out, shaking the legs, shaking the arms, maybe just going back and forth with the head or up and down, and just really get it moving and shake any way you want, and just really just allow for the energy to help you find that balance as we step into the rest of our day. And just let this energy be complete, have a flow to it. Yeah. Whew. And then just bring yourself to stillness for 1 second. We're just going to do one breath together to end for today. And I'm just going to invite you to breathe in through the nose, hold it at the crown, and then just release it. And we'll just do a check-in and see how we're feeling. So 3, 2, 1, draw it in and hold. And just one more little check to see how you're feeling. Yeah. And so, I hope this was helpful. And maybe if anyone out there is having a difficult time with feeling within them, I hope that this maybe helped a little bit to just go into how does this feel? Just I can't see, I'm messing up on the camera. To just lightly wiggle my fingers. How does that feel? So this is just an invite for you to start exploring maybe a little bit deeper with how you're really feeling. And then we, just like what we did, then we shifted midway through this today into bringing energy in from the earth and trying to feel that shift in that energy. Yeah. How was that for you over there, Sandy?
Oh, it was great. Yeah, you
We can move this around a little bit.
Definitely slowed my brain waves
Yeah.
down. I went from 100 to literally falling asleep.
Oh, did you
I
really
almost
fall? Yeah.
dozed off a couple times
Nice.
there. Yeah, and it's funny because even just sitting in that kind of really intense stop and go,
Yeah.
anybody who's ever been in a car accident,
Yeah.
it was like when I feel it when it was awesome that you had us work on our heart so much today
Yeah.
because my heart rate really came down because I was just so elevated from taking on all of that energy from, everybody else. So yeah, and then the shift, it was interesting having it just push it through my head because I was getting a lot of that white light and violet connection, and I really shifted it, so it was awesome. It felt great.
Yeah, nice.
Yeah, I feel very Buddha-like now. I feel mellow.
Yeah,
I wish I could go take a nap, but I can't. But yeah, everyone, thank you again, Matt. This is what
Yeah.
we do here at the People's Congregation. Yeah, come on in.
Yeah. I know it's
Um,
kind of where I'm like messing up.
yeah,
now,
so yeah, we do this every Tuesday at 11 a.m. Rise Up Breathwork with Matt, and you can also join us at 1 o'clock on Wednesdays for our self-care doula Anna's midweek reset, and we always look forward to these offerings, and we hope to expand them. And you guys come check us out at 63 Washington Street Saturday at high noon, and come dance with us.
And Friday.
And Friday for the Integrated Recovery Practices Group. We basically live here, so
Yeah.
come in and check out the new improvements.